Peace, family. Welcome you all to Royale Politikin with your host, Dewaun Robinson. And I'm sitting here with a community favorite, a gem, right? A designer at its core, right? None other than Miss Kayla. Make some noise. Keep going. I know that's right.
Make my own noise.
Sometimes it's like being your biggest fan. Like sometimes, especially like when you're out here trying to do something, you're trying to build something, right? Or if you're a content creator, if you into business, if you're in entrepreneurship, you're a sports figure, right? You have to be your biggest fan, right? So is you gonna be the one that's gonna be doing the design, putting a marketing plan together, running the business, doing the inventory, right? Setting up tables and functions if you're doing that, right? You are everything. You got to get the funds for it. You got to go solicit dollars. So it takes a lot when it goes into being an entrepreneur. And some people take it for granted, but then some people don't know the hard work and dedication it takes to, kind of bring that vision to life.
Yeah.
So, you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, how long have you been in the game?
I would say I started my entrepreneurial journey thinking about it in like 2010, maybe. Well, I would say okay, so I left Flint in 2008 and I came back in 2011. So when I left, before I left, Joe Rash actually he gave me some information about entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I started until I got back. So that would have been like 2011, 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got started in 2008, kind of thinking about
Thinking about it.
thinking
Yeah.
about it. Just always start with a thought.
With a thought.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then once that thought, you kind of put some things down on paper or what have you, right? Kind of
Yeah.
start sketching out the vision.
Right.
And then before you know it, you're like fully engaged into the work.
Right.
And so what was the thing that really captivated you to be able to start this thought process?
I think I was working at this shoe store called Training Camp, and this guy came in and he asked me to make. I was sketching while I was working, so it was like a really really big shoe store, sneaker store. We got all the exclusives, so it was like really big sneakerheads that
Okay.
came in, right?
Okay.
And so I had regular clients that would come in when the big releases of the sneakers. You
Mhm.
only get 23 pairs.
Come on now.
Making sure they on my list so they
Yeah.
get their shoes. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I know all about all the different Air Max 95 and I
Come
had to
on
know
now.
the information about the shoes,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
And so in between my clients, I had a notebook because we had to have a notebook. So if you came in and you're like, I'm looking for XYZ,
Mm-hmm.
I'll write your name down in my notebook and then what you were looking for.
Yeah.
So if we got it in, I could contact you.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
but when I did have clients, I would sketch and he caught me sketching.
Like you would do this on your own time, like sketching, like
Just like,
sketching what shoes, design,
whatever.
Okay.
If I got an idea,
Yeah.
a flower, I could write the flower down, or if I just wanted to doodle, whatever, I would
Okay.
just write a thought.
Gotcha.
Because we had to have a notebook. That
Gotcha.
was like a requirement on our job. And so he came in one day and saw me sketching, and he was like, "I'll pay you to make a bag." And I was like, he's like, "Cause if I don't, you're never gonna do it."
Sometimes.
So I was like,
when they
okay.
pay you, gotta do it, right?
Right. So he came in, he's like, "I got a girlfriend." I said,
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, I want you to bake or something." And I don't even know if this is a true story, right? But
You don't know if what he was telling you was the truth.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like sometimes I think he just did it because he wanted me to make the bag. You know what I'm saying?
So him having a girlfriend added extra emphasis on you making the bag, right?
Because I wanted to make it for women.
Okay.
And so he was like, "Well, make one for my girlfriend." And I'm like, he's like, "I got a girlfriend."
Okay.
So he paid me, I think it was $60 to make a backpack. I made a whole You seen the JanSport backpack. Like,
Hmm.
I mean the ones that's like 85.
Absolutely.
Not
Yeah.
the little simple ones,
No.
the ones with the
One
padding and the,
with the,
you
the
know, little,
gadgets.
little
Yeah.
extra little things. Now,
That's
it
right.
wasn't too extra, but so I designed it all out, and then that was the start of it. So I made my samples. I had to go to Atlanta for a conference. So I planned out this photo shoot.
Hmm.
We did the shoot with
Hmm.
like this big airplane. And ironically, I got this shirt on, and this was like one of the things that came from it was like take flight or something. That was like the whole inspiration behind it. So we rented out this hangar,
Oh,
and
this is for the fashion. I mean,
this
this
was
is for
for
the
the
photo
shoot.
shoot.
Yes, I didn't have no clients, nothing. But after I made him that bag, I knew
Yeah.
I needed samples in order to sell the collection to people.
So just so that way we follow.
Okay, yes.
So somebody came into the store,
Came in the store.
asked you, "Hey, is this something that can you put this bag together for my lady?"
Yes,
And from there, you did it.
I did it.
He paid you.
He paid me.
Then you had a function to go to in Atlanta,
Right.
and you decided, to do a photo shoot, right?
Yep.
Create the brand and bring merchandise.
Right. Well, I knew I
That's
had some
neat.
time though. So it was like
Yeah.
the conference was like maybe 6 months away. Let's just say. I
Good.
don't remember how many months, but I had some time to like kind of plan it out,
Mm-hmm.
build out my inspiration, do my mood board. And this was all while I had a real job. Like
Mm-hmm.
at that time I was working at the shoe store, but I was also interning at Marc Echo at the time. So I was a menswear designer, and then I was doing the shoe store too. So I was like basically using the design process. So I had time to kind of plan it out. I don't even know how I found the pilot because I didn't pay. I don't remember paying him a lot of money, but
Or even getting the hanger.
yeah, I
It was just
mean,
like something that you just did you
right.
think it like to take flight? That was
That was the
the concept.
inspiration, yeah. And it was inspired by Amelia Earhart. She was like the first woman to fly. I think it was an international flight. And so I was looking up
That's some
women and
that's some history for y'all, right? Say her name.
yeah,
Say her name again.
Amelia Earhart.
And she did what?
I think she was the first woman to do an international flight. It was a certain amount of miles that she did
Mm-hmm.
that she was the first woman who did that.
Yeah.
Don't quote me, but just Google it and you'll figure out the information of her because I could be wrong.
Big
But
shout out to her though.
yeah, definitely. And so that's where the inspiration came from. And then I just started using Google. I think, I started using my computer
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to figure out what I could do to bring what I was sketching to life, but not thinking of selling it at the time to people, just like building it and making my samples.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm gonna be in Atlanta, so I'm gonna go to this airport. They got
Mm-hmm.
a private airport. We're gonna get this hangar.
That's right.
So the photo shoot is like me wearing all my stuff that I made in front of this airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember how I connected with the pilot who let me into the hangar. Like I had a makeup artist there. She did my makeup. She was from Flint, but living in Atlanta. So she did that. Like it was a whole thing. And so then I developed the Fannie Lucille name by doing research on my family and learning about the history of sewing and how it was in my bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that's when I started doing a lot of research and like maybe I should try entrepreneurship on the side as
As a
idea on the side of me while I was working there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so when you say doing research, right? So you had to do some research, kind of understand that it's in your bloodline to do
Yeah.
so. See, a lot of people nowadays, it's much more than just screen printing and putting a shirt out and saying you're a fashion designer. You know what I'm saying? Like it when you can really sew and put those designs and those pieces together, that sets you apart from everything and everybody else. All right. A lot of designers, and I'm not in the designer, so don't shoot the messenger. But I do see a lot of people that say like, "Oh, I have a clothing line," right? And they have a logo, press it up, do vinyl, right, and have it on the shirt, and automatically assume that they're a designer, which I'm not taking away from nobody, right? I just think that it takes a lot of grit and grind to be able to have fabric, sew it together, right, and then create garments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's in your bloodline. Let's tell me about that. Where does this come from?
Well, as I started interviewing people in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I interviewed my great aunt, and she was the manager over a factory in Mississippi. They made baby clothes.
Mm.
And then my grandfather's mom, they all knew how to sew. Like it was like this thing where my great grandparents were sewing and my grandma was telling me about it and my granddad would tell me about it. So then I wanted to put everybody's name together, because I realized it was something that like, we're always working to build legacy. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that their thought was, oh, one day I'm gonna have my own fashion brand, but they can make clothes. Like
Yeah.
somebody would bring them a newspaper clipping and they would be like, I want this dress. And they would make it for them. And so entrepreneurship and the art of sewing was something that I saw in the family. And I was like, well, maybe this is a vision that I'm bringing to life that wasn't not only was it mine, but it was something that came before me, before my mom, before my grandma, like
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot of different what's the word I want to use? Um down the bloodline. Sometimes you just think of like where you are in the
Mm.
family tree.
Yeah.
But then as you start to do your research, you realize this is like fifth generation
Oh no,
of,
that's right.
of things
Yeah.
that have been going through your family. So
I think that's a phenomenal concept, and it brings you like when you talk about like your lineage, right?
yeah,
If you look at like, what your great grandparents was doing prior to
right,
understanding in epigenetics
right,
and genealogy, right? We carry on some of those same traits, right? Because it's passed down. That's what
right.
that is.
Yeah,
Like, and one of your great, people down the line may have had that spirit about themselves, right? And it just transitioned into you.
right.
Mhm. So that's a beautiful thing to be able to do the research, but then also kind of incorporate all of them who played a part
Yeah.
to this brand, right? And even getting the sewing machine. Where did you get the sewing machine from?
Well, that's the crazy part. I learned how to sew from my grandfather. So he
He,
taught me how to sew.
and he knew
So
what he was doing.
yes.
See, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they wasn't thinking of it like, oh, we're gonna do entrepreneurship. They was doing it because that's a necessity in life, clothes. But
Yes.
that's the deep
It's
part.
a life skill. It's
It is.
definitely a life skill. Your
Mm.
button gonna fall off. Your pants gonna be too long or too
Mm.
big.
Yeah, no, real talk.
So it's something that I feel like everybody should at least know how to thread a needle.
No, I mean, you absolutely right. I definitely lost many buttons in life, right? I wish that
That I wish.
I just threw the shirt away.
You throw the shirt away.
I didn't know what else to do with it. But if you had a life skill, then you would have definitely made good on it. And I'm glad that they showed you. I'm glad that they
Yeah.
definitely, I guess, put that interest in you,
Right.
and you picked it up. So you know what I mean. So now you at a point now where you have this brand, right? And so you went to Atlanta, you did what was necessary, and now you're trying to, build this, create this, right? Have this energy behind it.
Yeah.
Um, you spent some time in New York. How was that?
Amazing.
It was amazing, right?
Just amazing, period.
I know.
New York is amazing. I feel like it's the best place. New York for me was like a place where I feel like anybody that's creative
Yeah.
can go there and find their people. Like it's a place where it's so many different people
Hmm.
doing so many different things and it allows you to be in the creative space or find your creative space. So,
Hmm. Now you know what? I think New York is definitely full of designers. A lot of people come from New York. A lot of people go to New York, find their way. So you come back to Flint. Why? And you was in the Big Apple, right? You're out there with all the designers. You out there with all the legends, right?
Yeah.
I come back to Flint.
Well, coming back, I got engaged in New York and then I moved back home
Mhm.
to start my family, be close to the family.
Yeah.
So that was the reason for coming back.
Okay. Well, this is a good
Um,
reason.
yeah, it was a good reason. I think it was good because the whole thing behind the brand and the movement that I do now was about like my brother. And I'm sure, we'll probably get to that, talk about that. But
Hmm.
um the months leading up to his death was, I mean, that was only like 4 months. So I think everything has like a whole reason behind like why, you make certain moves.
Of course.
And so
We definitely have to chime in on that. Your brother.
yeah. Mhm.
Um, for those who don't know, because I know you tell your story, and I know
Yeah.
you spend many times on different platforms discussing your reason, right? Talk to us about your brother. How was this? How did this even play a part in what you're doing today?
My brother, his name was Antonio, and he was killed by gun violence in 2011. And so now I do fashion against violence because of him, to build a safe space for people who have been affected by violence, but to also build this safe space for people who are creative and
Mm-hmm.
be able to give them a platform through events and just exposure in the community.
Absolutely.
But the reason that I do that is because before he passed, when I moved back here, we was living like not too far from here actually, at the Durant.
Mm-hmm.
And he would, downtown is like a prime place, like you gonna go through here at some point, going to the north side, going somewhere, you gonna
Absolutely.
slide by downtown, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So
You ain't got no choice but to come
you
through
don't have no choice but to get through there, right? And so he would bring me people who was doing like you said, like making t-shirts or had an idea and they wanted to build a brand.
That's right. You're right.
And so he was like, I think you need to be helping people. I think you need to be helping them to build their brand. Like they got ideas. Like you can help them. You know. And I used to be like, I don't know what to tell these people, like, and then I'll be bringing people to my house. But at
First
the
of all, don't be. Yeah, you ain't even call me,
I
right?
know. He's like, no, you this my boy, I was like,
You
okay.
remember him? You remember him? Nah, I don't.
Yeah, so I
But
thought,
I love his energy about that, right?
right. Like, yo, my sister got you,
That's
like she
right.
can help you do whatever you try to do with this fashion stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to be able to kind of like make that bigger with the Fashion Against Violence movement
Absolutely.
by having the workshops that we do in the community
Mm-hmm.
and doing the fashion week and allowing people to be able to have a platform.
Yeah.
But not only have a platform, because I feel like people just have fashion shows, but
Mhm.
they don't truly know that fashion shows is really about like building sales and building sustainable businesses. It's
Mhm.
not just about people saying like, oh, okay, it's beautiful. We want you to say it's beautiful, but the main reason that it was created was because buyers would come from different stores. So these would be like small intimate shows where people would come
Mhm.
and the elite were invited. Like everybody wasn't really invited to these fashion shows. This was like
Sure.
closed private thing, like you get an invite in the mail. You going to Fannie Lucille show? Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I got my invite,
And it's just not promoted,
No, it's
community
not.
wide, citywide. You
No.
had to be invited to
You
come.
had to be
Okay.
invited. It
Okay.
was like the who's who of the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are coming there so that they can, number one, either give you feedback on we don't like this, that needs to be read in order to sell at Bloomingdale's, or if I'm coming from Macy's, it's like, no, I need this in a slimmer cut because my customer wants X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely.
So it's a place where people come to be able to get feedback from whether that's stylists, buyers, for their brand to be able to sell bigger quality,
Gotcha.
to build sustainable businesses.
Yeah.
But they don't know that. And so, like, that's why we had a mentorship part of Fashion Against Violence with Vehicle City Fashion Week to be able to help those people who are just like, I got an idea, but what are you going to do with the idea if you don't know where to go? So that's what we do.
See, I think, but that's the mentor part about it. And I think, when you're talking about creating those type of drivers, right? that's a big part of it, you know, to be able to understand those things. Like
Mhm.
I know people hear fashion show, and until you kind of broke down the origins of it, right? I can see that. I can see that being some like a where the who's who will be is like an intimate setting, right? And we all just sharing our, you know, I guess our product.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you might get some feedback to say, okay, that looks good. You know, we need to scrap this, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes.
Which
But
is
then you don't. I'm not wasting money on spending
absolutely,
thousands of dollars on this product that I know people really are not going to buy.
absolutely. I'm with that. That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Mm.
And so this is a whole week of different things. You got workshops, you got
Yeah.
engagements, you got networking opportunities, and
Mhm.
then of course you got the grand finale of the show.
Yeah.
Okay, walk us through what that week looks like.
The week is full of amazing things. We
Mhm.
start off on Monday, and then this year it doesn't end until Monday with a different collaboration. But so Monday we have Fashionably Fit, which we collaborated with my sister Latrice, who
Okay.
is doing like yoga. And this one is gonna be online this time.
Okay.
So you just log, it's free. You log on to the Zoom and she's going to teach us different techniques. The whole theme behind the show is dream, so every day is going to have like something to help you to kind of get closer to your dream, but it'll
Mm.
have like a different aspect of not just fashion stuff, but things that you will need to incorporate, like the nurturing of the
Of the
dream.
dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So we starting with the yoga, then
Yeah.
Tuesday, networking at On the Bricks.
Nope. That's right. That's right.
And then Wednesday, we are going to do a sewing social, and we've collaborated with April Hawkins. She's going to be bringing in you can create your own hat.
Okay.
So it's like, you could pick patches out and things like that. And then I'll be doing a couple little sewing techniques that everybody should learn. Very, very basic, but
We look
they'll
forward
learn
to that.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Thursday, we're doing the Fashion Against Violence program. This year, we collaborated with Grand Blanc Academy.
The
It's
high
a
school. Is that the high school or is that?
it's a they K through 8.
Gotcha.
So, yep.
Okay.
So we be going in, teaching them stuff about sewing, teaching them stuff about modeling and photography this year.
You gonna love that.
That's
Okay.
Thursday. Then Friday, it's a private event, but like I was saying with the mentoring the designers, they'll come in, they'll bring their collections, and then we've invited different buyers and stylists in the community. We're really in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll come and give their feedback to the designers on like, oh, I could use this, or just building a relationship, because a lot of people as stylists, they like to pull clothes,
Right.
and so that's how people get their name out there. When you see Beyonce on the red carpet and she's wearing whatever name, I'm wearing Prada, whatever the case may be. They've been styled by somebody who has pulled a bunch of looks and they tried on a bunch of looks and then they figured out that this is the one. So if designers can get their clothing into these styling closets where
Mm-hmm.
people pull from, then they could get what's called being placed on different celebrities, different influencers, and then they can get the exposure that they need.
That's the exposure. Now, say for
Yeah.
instance, when these celebrities do wear some of your materials or your merchandise, is
Yeah.
that like does that be a compensation opportunity or
It
it gets into the
depends.
closet? If it gets into the closet, you're getting exposure. People be like, "Oh, I saw that just on the red carpet."
Right.
They like, I need to go get that. Right. Then that's how
Right.
they tap in with you.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one way.
Mm-hmm.
One way they can to like spread the name. You know how people do. You can send people free clothes. You can
Yeah.
send,
Yeah.
and then they shot you out, and then you can get
Turn you up.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's and then Saturday is the show. Sunday where I just asked everybody to join me at church
Absolutely.
at NTC, and then we're just gonna do a brunch at Agitated Grape in Davidson.
That's all on Sunday.
That's on Sunday.
Okay.
And then Monday, I always like to have like a pitch opportunity for them
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get money for grants for their businesses. And so we're going to support Flint Soup. They have a new name called Doxa, where they do like it's like you come, you pay $5,
Mm-hmm.
and then they've chosen, you have to have done the application before because they pick entrepreneurs to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And you pay the $5, and then whoever gets the most votes at that, they get the grant that day. So
they get the pot that comes in for the day.
yep. And then I think they also have like sponsors that match whatever they raise. So if they have, let's just say $500, then they match that. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So that sounds like a full week of activities. It starts Monday to Monday.
Yep.
Every day we got something going on. How can people get this schedule?
If you go to Vehicle City Fashion Week on Facebook, it has the event and you can see everything that we're doing on there. Yeah.
So we want you to definitely check out that website, check out those dates. If you are a designer, if you are an inspiring model, right? If you just into that field and that energy just whatsoever, right? We encourage you to come on down. You got a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different networking, opportunities. But then also you might be opening a door or building a concept that you've been waiting to get some support from with the mentorship and things of that nature, or just even connecting with her, right?
Yeah.
And she's very, very community driven. She's always engaged. She's always sharing knowledge. And I think that's something that, we cannot get too much of. Like we appreciate those content creators, those visionaries for sharing the to-dos and, what to look for and how to get hot, how to get exposure. That's important. A lot of times people, don't know where to start.
That's true.
And sometimes, just watching people who doing it right in their own backyard even helps them out. So
Yes.
we encouraging everyone to come out. The big show is on Saturday.
Saturday,
Mhm.
22nd.
And is that ticket based? Is it?
Yep. The tickets are $22.
Okay.
And you can get them on that ticket link is listed on that event on Facebook as well.
So definitely, man, we want to sell this out. That's what we were just kind of talking about with entrepreneurship. This is so hard, but you heard her story. You heard how this all began. You heard how, it's in her DNA. Heard how, she did the research behind before she even got started with something, right? I think that's what it takes when you're trying to build something up. So let's definitely support, right? It kind of brings me back into the business highlights. So right now we want to definitely highlight a business here in the city of Flint. One thing for sure, we want to definitely share some love and put some light on the North Flint Food Market. Yes, that's the grocery store that's been in the development for the past 11 years. It sits right over there on Pearson and Clio. Did you get a chance to go over there?
Not yet. I gotta
Yeah.
go though.
You got to go.
I gotta go.
Listen, it's a co-op. It shows what you can do when people come together. A co-op is something where we all put money into, but we all benefit from it as well. And so we all started out with a $250 membership for those who wanted to be a part of the grocery store. This is well before there was brick and mortar, building, and all that, right? Food on the shelf, etc. Now, you see 11 years later, which is a long time. I know people was looking like, man, that store is never going to open, right? Even people who invested in it, like, man, where's my money at, man? But you know what? I just want to say, like, you know what? Through all the blood, sweat, and tears, through all the runs, I'm going to food co-op conventions in Milwaukee, and I was a part of the early development with Dr. Flynn and Reverend Threlkel and the team. Right? It's been an Ed. Big shout out to Ed. But to be able to look back on those pictures, and we was looking at the pictures and stuff beforehand, like, and just kind of seeing, like, okay, this is what we had kind of went through, right, to be at this place right now. To go in there, the grand opening was just this past week. To go in there to see food on the shelf, to see the building representing Kwanzaa, right, Ujima, which is cooperative economics. I mean, not cooperative economics, but collective working responsibility. Ujama is cooperative economics. But just to see that just sprinkled throughout the whole store, matching the color scheme, and then the Gala Event Center over there, it's just a beautiful thing, right? To say, like, man, you know what? This was all worth it. So it didn't matter if it took 11 years, it didn't matter if it took 22 years, right? The fact of the matter is that it's open. You can shop there. They get a lot of their produce and their goods from local vendors, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? A lot of folks out in Detroit, right? A lot of black-owned businesses, and I support that and I appreciate it. So no longer we shopping at Myers no more, right? You don't gotta go to Mr. B's. You ain't gotta go down there to Landmark and get that old meat, right? You can go down there to the North Flint Food Market. Why? Because we own it. Come on, get you a pack of hamburger meat. Get you some vegetables,
Oh my God.
right? and leave with a hoodie or a t-shirt because we sell them too in there. So I'm just definitely, man, make sure you go check it out. Be at the North Flint Food Market. It's open Sunday to Monday. Go ahead and shop, right? All right, so we back in, and we having a phenomenal conversation. I'm just very proud of you. I watched you do this thing. I knew you when you was in New York, and just to see you come back,
Not you knew
right?
me.
Huh?
I knew you when you was in New York.
Like I ain't know you all my life.
Play
You
too
know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I saw the
much.
different transitions. You came back with children. Now, you know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing and you're doing your business. And you take care of your family, right? That's very
Thank you.
commendable,
Thank
right?
you. I'm
So,
proud of you too.
oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that we need more of that. We need more of us honoring and celebrating each other and lifting up one another, right? And that's what we look to do on these type of platforms. So, once again, make sure you go grab you a ticket, take you somebody with you, right? Attend some of the days throughout the week. There's gonna be a bunch of different stuff going on. I know I'm excited about the networking opportunity. We'll be having a number of entrepreneurs in there. We'll be eating,
Yeah.
having a good time, just chit chatting, right? Just being in the same place. It's like kind of creating those creative spaces,
Yeah.
right? And everything else to look forward to that week. So, is there anything you would like to highlight just in general yourself? As like anything you got going on, anything that you like to share in the community, next steps, right? You might be thinking of what? A designer school? I don't know. I'm just throwing some stuff out there.
I don't know. I think the most important thing right now is like even if you don't attend the show, you can sponsor a child. And so like I did a lot of what is summer camps
Okay.
where the kids were had the option to do like the fashion class, right?
Okay.
And so it was just like an introduction thing, but you also see where people have where kids gain interest.
Absolutely.
And so I want my goal is to actually reach out to them and allow them to come to the show. So we do have the sponsor a child. So even if you don't come to the show, you can sponsor a child, and that will help us to continue to have these programs
Mm-hmm.
and be able to expose the kids to just different small things that could spark their interest in fashion.
No, that's good. And
Yeah.
how much does a sponsorship for a child?
It's $22.
22?
Yep.
Well, we gonna definitely sponsor a child because I know it's somebody that wanted to attend. So let's make sure that we put that on the books. Team back there. We're gonna definitely go ahead and do. Big shout out to the babies back there holding it down, right? So we're gonna definitely support that. We're gonna definitely be out there, right? We do want to definitely talk about what's going on locally. Like if you had the opportunity, if you haven't, right? Locally, we understand that the water crisis settlement is supposed to be coming down. So if you got any children that was impacted by the water crisis, if you have family members that had Legionella disease, right? If you have anybody who had a home, right, and their pipes was damaged, listen, we do have, and supposedly the settlement is supposed to be touching down this month, right? Don't quote me on that because these folks been saying that for 3 years, right? And you can believe nothing of what they say, right? And half of what you see. So for those who are been impacted, the community of Flint has gone through, this for 11 years as well. Same time as a grocery store. That's deep. But we are definitely looking to make sure that people in the city of Flint are made whole. That has been a problem. We don't want to be known as a city with bad water. We don't want to be known as you know, victims in the city, right? Because we are victorious. And we do want to make sure that any type of compensation or any type of benefit goes to our children because they are our future. And we do encourage people to establish trust too as well. So make sure if you got a family trust, to be able to put those assets into a trust. So then that way when it's time to send one of the babies off to college and things like that, you guys got some flow to make that happen. So be on the lookout, right? We will have more definitely information about that. We'll definitely go ahead and continue to put that out there on the airwaves. But we want to make sure that we don't get lost in this because while the whole world may think that the city of Flint has been made whole, not even the city of Flint, but the residents, that's untrue. People are still dealing with this. Our children are having learning disabilities. The behavior has changed. And we don't even know what's going to become of this in the next 10, 20, 30 years from now. Right? Nobody is being held accountable. When I say nobody has been held accountable, nobody has been held accountable. And everybody should have a problem with that. That is insane for you to poison a city of 90,000 people, right? And nobody being held accountable. You don't think that we deserve justice, and that's how they have played in your face. But I always say, like, that's the reason why we vote. If we don't get out there and vote, if we don't make sure that we got the right people in leadership, then you're going to continue to be bamboozled. You're going to be slapped in the face and kicked in the behind every single time. So that's why it's so important that we make sure that we change the perspective of getting the right people in place, getting folks who really care, people that's going to fight for you, people that's going to stand up for you, people that's going to inform you with the information that you need to know what's going on in the city. A lot of times you be walking around here, don't know what's going on, don't know how it affects you. But trust and believe everything that takes place, public policy affects you whether you know it or not. You might think that you got a job. You think you might be scamming, making money on the side, getting to it, right? But trust me, you're gonna definitely have to need to make sure that somebody is representing, got your best interest.
Yeah.
So you have to go out there and vote. We got elections coming up next year. The primaries will be in August, general election in November. We got the mayors, we got the city council. All that is up for grabs next year. So if you are looking to be a city council member, if you're looking to run for mayor, if you're looking to just be involved and being part of the process just anyway, right? You can do anything. We need you to understand to get your family out there, have these conversations, and make sure that we stand up for ourselves and be a voice. We only vote at 14% in the city. We ain't gonna get nowhere like that. And if you saw what happened with Detroit, Detroit have elected a new mayor, which is Mary Sheffield. Good sister. I think that she's gonna be very well for Detroit. I think that she has the heart for the people. And that's what you have to have if you represent the constituents. It's not about you. It's not about what you want to do, right? But how are you changing the quality of life for the people you're supposed to represent? That's what you're supposed to be in those positions for. And if you're in there for anything else, then you're wrong. I know we look at the city of Flint, sometimes it be a circus, right? It's a straight clown show. Like they roll out the back doors with the clown car because it's that much foolishness that take place down there. And it impacts all of us. I be talking to my folks down there in Atlanta and they be laughing about what's going on in the city council. And I can't even laugh because we dealing with it. It's that frustrating. Eric Mays is gone. So you can't blame Eric no more. You can't say it was his fault. The fact of the matter is we have to be about our business and put all that nonsense to the side and be really there to go ahead and do for the people that you serve. And just because you may serve in different wards, always understand at the end of the day, you serve in this whole city. So everybody has to be in bound. Everybody got to be in play on this. I don't care if we don't get along. I don't care if we adversaries, whatever the case may be. If this is going to benefit you and the constituents that you represent and the same ones that they represent, then we should be all for it. The city is supposed to come together and vote on issues. It's supposed to be spending money that's going to really go towards really improving what we see in the city, whether that be in blight, whether be economic development, public health, right? Crime, right? Youth and violence, address our seniors. You're supposed to look at it like that. So, once again, make sure you be prepared to go vote. Make sure you go out there and you talk about it at the dinner table with your family. Make sure that you be on cue. If you did sign up for the water crisis settlement, there's only 27,000 people that signed up for the water crisis settlement. So that means that it's a fund set to the side for those. If you didn't sign up, it's a fund set to the side for you. But don't wait till the last minute. And I know some people are going to be disappointed, but you should definitely go for what you know, right? Whatever the case may be, I don't care if it's $10. You need to get something, right? And on a national scale, right? We see that the government is back open. Yeah, the government is back open.
All right.
Right? It's
Yeah.
really, am I really excited about that? Because to be honest with you, I wish it was still shut down. We still demonstrating and protesting. Kayla looking like, why? You looking like, why you want the government shut down? I'm looking at you, 8 Democrats, right? That chose to side with the Republicans because you wanted to get the government back open.
Right.
But all the Republicans gave you was a promise. See, what they don't understand, healthcare is about to be right back on the bill again. In January, we might be dealing with another shutdown, right? Because that's when those credits and all those things end. So that's when people will be paying a different, higher premium, right? You're going to see some changes. But what the Democrats should have done before they gave in and gave those 8 votes, they should have got assurance that they were going to get a deal on health care. They did not.
Mm.
They just went on a hope and a prayer, like, yeah, these people gonna do right by us. When these folks they never did right by you ever in your life. That's like trusting the people who have oppressed you and tell you, like, yeah, we just gonna give you a promise, but nothing in writing.
Mm.
We can't go for that, y'all. We got to be bigger and better than that. We have to stand for something, or we gonna die for anything every time. So we do appreciate and understand that people got to eat. We just having a whole backdoor conversation about SNAP, and, going from the book. My mom used to send me down to Maxi Meat with a whole colorful book of different things, right? And have a list of items that we need to go get, right? And I try to throw my Cheetos on there, a couple Jolly Ranchers and all that, some Skittles, but that wasn't on the list. Couldn't get them.
Like what?
I'm just saying, y'all know that book, right? Yeah, I thought we had made it with that book. I don't know what I thought, but I thought we made it. Anyway, right? SNAP, we want to make sure that people are eating because a lot of households depend on it. It is more white folks on food benefits and SNAP than it is anybody else. So you want to make sure that people have the necessities in life and they're eating, right? So we do want to make sure that folks do get that. Now that people can travel for the Thanksgiving Day holiday, right? Whatever the case may be, you can move around. And government officials is getting paid again. So there's some pros and cons to this. But at the end of the day, make sure you stand on principle. Make sure you stand for something. And make sure you don't give up your power of leverage to those who seek to destroy you. Once again, I want to say I appreciate you, Kayla, for just being a beautiful spirit, just being an awesome cousin, right? Just being an amazing community member, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep leaving a legacy, keep building structures, right? And make sure when it's your time, you know what I'm saying, that you can see the impact by anything that you left behind.
Yeah.
It might be new designers, because in 20, 30 years from now, it's going to be looking much different than what we
Yeah,
with today.
for sure. Thank you.
And it's our job to be able to set the tone for those coming up behind us. And I think you're doing that.
Thank you.
All right,
I'm
okay.
trying to take you seriously. It's just so funny to not
Still
not
my
like
joke?
that. Not like that. Cause we play too much.
All right.
So if anybody see this and they see my face like looking weird, it's just I'm trying not to laugh because to see him so serious sometimes I always be the one that's gonna crack a joke.
Yeah.
But this is a serious moment. So I want to
Absolutely.
say thank you
Absolutely.
so much. And I'm proud of you for everything that you do too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. She right. If you don't know, this is my cousin. And so, we have definitely seen each other in different transitions in life, right? So, um, anytime we get together though, you know what I'm saying, we just gonna bust out laugh. Cause it's just like that, right? You know what I'm saying? We come from a lot, right? And so, man, it's just always good times. And you know what I'm saying? I think that's the beauty in this, right? So, if you do see her looking crazy on there, just know that she gave you a disclaimer about that, right? Nevertheless, right? Y'all make sure y'all definitely tap in to Royal X Politicking, right? You can catch it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? Please be sure to subscribe to the channel, right? Because like we said, we entrepreneurs and we like to make sure that we bring this content out, right? I want to give a big shout out to our executive producer behind the scene, right? The missus, right? And then the brother, right? Everybody who comes together to make this thing a success, right? And we appreciate everybody who takes or values this, right? This
Yeah.
information, right? The highlights, the updates, announcements, and all that, right? So make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's Royal X Politicking, right? With your host, Dewaun Robinson. But then make sure you like on Facebook, Instagram, right? Share with your friends. Might be some information that you need to go ahead and share out. But be sure to be part of the village. Why? Because we own it. All right. So any last parting words you want to share?
just thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing and being a vision keeper. We have to be vision keepers for everybody's vision. I believe that certain people are called to each other's vision. So I would just say to both of us and to everybody that's watching, like to continue to be obedient to what you're called to because it's always connected to somebody else's dream. So when you do what you're supposed to do, you open up the door for somebody else. So just remember that.
Absolutely. That's well put.
Yeah.
Right. So we definitely, man, we appreciate y'all. We'll be signing out. The way we end the show, we do a little X.
Oh, okay.
Right. Signing out.
I know.
Peace and blessings.